grab a slice after too.
Yeah, you gotta try.
Yeah. I tried it. I'm the one that told you about this place.
Have you had this one though?
Tandoori chicken? Yeah.
Oh.
It's really good.
So what about this park? Why this park?
Convenient for Kevin.
No. This park, Kariya Park in Mississauga, is one of my favorite parks because like they do all the cherry blossom stuffs here. It's like a pretty big park. It's near Square One. It's near the biggest mall in Mississauga. So it's really easy to get to. You can park there, you can shop and come here after. There used to be a dessert place across the street. They're gone now, but they have another location in Square One.
Is it any good?
Dimitri's.
Oh, the ice cream shop.
Yeah, I think they call
It's
it
like
the
a chain,
D spot.
Yeah,
now,
D spot.
Which sounds very
way
a little bit
worse.
too
Oh, I
raunchy
like that.
to me.
That's where I want to go.
They actually have a sale today, but
You have to find the D spot.
but yeah, no, it's just a nice park. Like, there's obviously like ponds and stuff. It's nice to relax to.
They got water and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Good
they do
area.
like events here. They usually do events more at Square One, but they have some small stuff here too. So it's nice.
Yeah, it's right outside Toronto in Mississauga. Both of you grew up in Toronto or near Toronto.
Yeah.
And Toronto is a big part of your show.
For sure,
Sublo
yeah.
and Tangy Mustard.
Yeah.
Why specifically Toronto?
Because I live here. Well, it's because
You started it really in California.
yeah, it was when I was in LA and I was missing Toronto a lot, and so I was kind of like, I don't know. Even before I left, though, I was doing some little like short, shitty cartoons that I would be like, oh, I gotta make it. It's explicitly Toronto. Put the flag somewhere, and then yeah, I just kind of doubled down on that when I went to LA because in LA I realized I recognized everything from movies. I'd be like, oh, why do I know random chains that we don't have up here, like Jamba Juice? Like, why do I already know that?
Juice.
It was just because it was in movies and stuff, I was like, but that's stupid. Like, there's no reason I should know it.
Toronto.
Yeah, or like Pink's is just like shitty hot dogs.
Hey, it's not that bad. I love Pink's. Pink's with the hot dog through the onion rings.
Nasty. It's like
Chili over it.
diarrhea food.
Yeah. but the thing is, like, your show is like it's very specific Toronto, not Canadian.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I wanted to do all the stuff I missed, and all just the stuff that I felt like wasn't featured. Like I mean, other than Scott Pilgrim, I didn't know any like cartoons or comics that are explicit about Toronto. And Scott Pilgrim was a big influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to show like mundane, random places. It wasn't like every episode has to be them going to like a landmark or something. Like I didn't even show the CN Tower until like the nightclub one in the third season.
Yeah, in the
It was
background.
always just they're going to like Queen and Ossington or whatever, just
Yeah,
random
just
stuff.
mentioning the places.
Yeah, because I just want it to be like, the way that we would actually live. You're not like going to City Hall or Nathan Phillips Square or whatever every day.
You're not.
But it also like joins the list of specifically Toronto type shows, like a Kenny vs. Spenny is
I love Kenny.
specifically in Toronto.
Huge love of mine.
There is a Kenny vs. Spenny poster in the background
Yeah.
of Sublo's apartment.
Good eye.
Yeah,
There you
Good
go.
eye.
And Tito's Sublo and Tito's place.
Yeah.
Because I would do that for a while. I would like add posters of things.
Yeah.
But I'd kind of, what is it like? Some cutout effect in Photoshop or something like that. One of the effects.
Yeah,
I think there's like Big Trouble in Little China, Smokey and the Bandit.
You had Jigen in the computer background.
Jigen's on for Loop on the Third.
So is Tito the fan of Kenny vs. Spenny or is Sublo?
Everybody's a fan of Kenny vs. Spenny.
You can't be
If you
not
ask
from Toronto.
every character, they all tell you they love Kenny vs. Spenny.
Does Kenny vs. Penny exist in Sublo and Tangy Mustard?
Yeah, that's why they got the poster.
Oh, yeah, I
It
guess-
must.
I guess that makes
They just
sense.
poster of these random two guys.
Going head to head.
Yeah, it's a pretty iconic poster.
You're the voice of Tangy Mustard, probably the main character of the show, Sublo and Tangy Mustard.
Oh, you.
Oh.
And it was your first time voice acting too. So how did it go the first time you were in the studio?
Once we were actually in the studio, it wasn't so bad. We went to, that was, the first time was Morph Productions, right?
Yeah, first time I was in his ex-wife's basement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the basement. But it was well done.
Yeah.
It was really well done. Just in a booth, you're just recording. And, Aaron already had a script of lines. And, these are just based on Aaron knowing me, for a long time. It's a lot of just my mannerisms. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
was trying to write like a PG-13 version of what he
yeah, so it's like, oh, this is easy to do. It's just me talking. And then, because it's me talking, I felt I took some creative liberties in some parts. It's like, I wouldn't say this. If this was me, I wouldn't have said it this way. So I was like,
So how much is like improvised then?
I would say, I think you got me down
like-
pretty well in the script.
It's not like improvised, but he'll like rephrase certain things, you know? Like,
Or add an accent of sorts.
yeah.
I tend to do that.
And the like ad libs you throw out, like yar and things like that. That's written in.
No. I mean, wait,
Yar is written in.
Yar is written in. Because I used
I think
to
they're
do
all
that.
written in, but they're like from him just doing them in real life.
But like if you be like a yo ah, it's like what kind of yo ah, you know? Like what kind of yo ahs are you looking for?
different levels. There's a
Of course,
spectrum,
it's a tier. Yeah, it's a spectrum. Yes.
Spectrum of yo ahs.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of good inspirations that help me. That brings out the best yo ah, you know, the best yo ahs out in me. There's a few.
I feel like doing it like when we do it, it's not like formal in the studio, right? Like I'm just like sitting there next to you.
Oh yeah, like it's honestly just like this, where it's not like you're constantly
I'm not in the
directing
booth
me.
like doing the talk back, because I just
Yeah.
feel like, especially for everybody not being actors, it would just make it kind of weird and formal, you know? Like
And that was Ashton's role.
oh well, he didn't want that. He was all like, oh, it'll make too much noise if you sit in there. But I was kind of like, I don't know. I mean, these are just like my friends.
Yeah.
I don't want to like make them feel weird by being alone in this weird, isolating space. and
Especially
then
my
you just
first time.
Hear voices coming in over the headphones.
So each time, even now, you're still in the booth with them.
Yeah, with everybody. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there was a time where I was alone in the booth. to be quite
Yeah,
honest.
maybe just like a couple of retakes here and there. If I just like, you know,
Yeah.
if I change a line too late, we have to email and like, hey, can you say this instead of that?
Yeah, I think the only time was when we didn't have another person behind in the booth. Like there was that one time when we did the retake and it was literally just the two of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few.
That's the only time I can remember.
You mentioned you were in LA when starting the show. You were working on your other shows as well, BoJack Horseman and Tuca and Bertie at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah. Sublo for most of the time I've been doing it has been like my like side thing that I do evenings and mornings and weekends and stuff. Because I think in 2015 is when we started it.
You said it was like 10 years, right?
Yeah, 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, no, 2015.
That's
'Cause
why
I-
we have the book.
Yeah. But I moved there in like 2013, and then I was there until like 2023. But while I was working on those shows, I was sort of like having a good time, but not really feeling like I was contributing my own creative ideas, you know? It was like executing other people's stuff, which is the job, like that's what I expected. But I was excited about just doing my own thing, or continuing to do my own thing, because I've been doing shorts in high school. Like that was how I started.
Fester Fish.
Fester Fish.
Before that, even.
Before that, there was some dank, crappy, like Space Goose. And,
Hey, people like Space Goose. Space Goose.
I don't know if I like it anymore.
And it is like some stuff I remember in high school where the
Stop motion shorts.
not just the stop
figures.
motion, but like those are the ones you submit for like those like competitions in our school that you won.
There was a film festival at the school. I think I only did it 1 year, but I made a short where one of the teachers that gave me a bad grade, like, starts bombing the school, and it ends with them going to a mental institution. And they didn't show the end of it. They like cut it off. They were like, okay,
This has
we've
gone
seen
too
enough.
far.
Yeah,
He
but
still
then-
won.
Yeah, because then the teacher, Miss Sirakos, she was like, all right, don't know if we're gonna decide on a winner. And then like in the hallway outside later, she was like, here's the prize money. That was cool. And I was like, wow. Like, even if the school wasn't allowed to say they liked it, one of the teachers liked it.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, I liked that.
So did that put your foot in the door for doing this as a career?
Yeah, basically, making my own shorts, and just putting them on YouTube, Newgrounds and stuff.
Well, you didn't really put them on Newgrounds at the time, right?
No,
Like, the
that's
Festa
true.
Fish stuff wasn't on Newgrounds.
Yeah, it was just the Sublos were on Newgrounds. I'd put other crappy stuff that I deleted, but that didn't get my foot in any doors.
Yeah,
but
a lot of secret
YouTube.
videos on his YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, unlisted stuff.
Yeah, unlisted. No, it's not even unlisted. Straight up gone. You privated it.
It's unlisted for me.
Oh.
You just need the list.
And you still have the
need
link.
Yeah. But yeah, basically I was doing shorts, putting them on, Daily Motion, Vimeo. I was putting
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of the
'Cause I was like,
early
I had to
2000s
diversify, have them
streaming.
everywhere possible, even though YouTube was the only one anybody was watching. People said Vimeo was good for filmmakers and stuff,
Yeah.
but I got like 8 views on each episode I posted on there.
But no love for Billy or Nico.com.
Yeah. Oh, I should have put it on there.
So then when did your stuff start taking off?
I'd say it was with the Fester Fish stuff. So like when I was in college, basically this site Cartoon Brew kept sharing them whenever I posted an episode, because Jerry Beck was really into old cartoons, and he was one of the 2 guys on the site, and those were sort of throwbacky 1930s, 40s stuff. And so he, every time I did it, he was like, "Oh, somebody who likes old cartoons, I'll share this." And then I got like some job offers from people looking at that. and one of the offers was like, you can come to LA for 6 months. And then after 6 months, it was like another 6 months for the next season or whatever, BoJack season 1, I think. And then it just kept going like, oh, BoJack got renewed. You want to stay for the next season? And I was like, I don't want to turn down the work because then I'd have to come back and find something. So it was easier to just stay there.
To note that when you went to LA, you didn't start with BoJack though.
Yeah, the first
What did you
thing I
start
worked
with?
on was Trip Tank. It was this sketch comedy show for Comedy Central. And it was like very varied. Like it was it was a huge range of like styles and quality and like tones and stuff, because people were just randomly submitting different things, and they were being done by people all around the world.
Yeah, it was like a series of skits, really. It's like not a bad show.
Some of it was okay, and then some was kind of
Yeah,
awful.
the quality was, it hit and miss.
What was your role there?
I started off animating and storyboarding for my friend Mike Hollingsworth, who is
Mike.
he was just like one of my best friends in LA.
I miss him.
Yeah, I gotta bring him up here. We're working on it. We got some irons in the fire to lure him up here.
Good.
But anyway, he was my director initially on there, and then we just really hit it off. He wanted me because he liked Fester Fish, I think, and then he'd done the BoJack pilot right before we started working together, so then that got picked up. Oh, sorry. And then he was like, Aaron, you gotta come work on BoJack. They were so desperate for a crew on that show because they just started doing 2D animation, so they didn't have like a staff that they could just call on. So every time they started a project, they were like, who can we grab off the street?
Who knows
who's
2D
available?
animation?
So like that's why I got hired like right out of college to go work down there, because they just didn't have a talent pool at this studio. They'd only done stop motion before. But anyway, yeah, I worked with Mike for like all of BoJack and Tuca and Bertie season 1, and I feel like some random little other things here and there. But anyway, I basically owe my career to Mike, I would say.
So Mike got your foot in the door in LA, and then
Mike
more
and
so.
Scout Raskin.
Yeah, I was
too.
about to be, you gotta give
Mike
a
and
shout out to Scout.
Or they were a producer at the studio, and they were, writing their own shorts but couldn't animate. So finding people online, and then they found me, and together they were like, the Miss Aaron kid might work out, and then it did. For me, at least. I don't know. Trip Tank only lasted 2 seasons and nobody watched it.
I watched it. I mean, I watched whatever you sent me.
If there's one Trip Tank fan, it's Kevin. If there's no Trip Tank fan,
Kevin's
Kevin
dead.
forgot it existed.
What was your role starting on BoJack, and how did you move to director?
I started, I think, doing the same stuff, like storyboarding and little character design, animation. It was like a little bit of everything, because it was very messy and extremely non-union, I'd say.
Yeah. It was a Netflix show.
It was Netflix, but it was back when they were like, oh, we don't know if we could do a Netflix original. It was a big gamble, For a long time, that was the excuse of like, well, we don't know if Netflix is going to make any money, so we can't afford to spend much. And then, like, by the end of the show, we were like their #1 cartoon or something, and every other show was union. We were still non-union. But anyway,
For the entirety of BoJack.
up until the 6th season, yeah. But we don't have to get into that. But anyway, it was non-union, so it was easy to switch hats and, be like, okay, I'm doing storyboards for these 3 months, then I'll hop over and do some character designs. By character design, I just mean like incidental extras, not like the main characters. But then animation retakes, and they would have me animate promos and like special sequences, like the intro to Horsing Around, the show within the show.
Yeah.
And I got to kind of contribute some ideas to those. Like I came up with, I don't know if it's a good thing to say now, but I came up with this character named Bradley Hitler Smith. He was like one of the kids on the show, and I just put it in as like a temp placeholder, like, because I thought it was funny. And then the show creator was like, hey, who came up with that? That's cool, let's leave that in.
They ran with it.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, in the show, they never say that name.
Yeah.
Only in the credits.
I think that was maybe to avoid actually having to like if a character says it, it's like more official. Maybe they would have to pay me for it or something. I don't know.
But a
on
BoJack
screen,
rewatch, look
I think
out
it's
for
funnier.
Bradley Hitler Smith.
Yeah.
Funny to see it in the credits, like what?
And who is that?
I think they only ever call him Brad in the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing little things, but I would be putting jokes in, like in that Horsing Around intro. I kept adding this idea that like that kid kept getting like hit and he gets like sprayed so it looks like he peed himself. Just kind of making him like, the loser of the 3 kids. I don't know, and I guess they liked that I was like adding ideas and stuff. And Mike already kind of just liked working with me, so he kept going, oh, if we need somebody to animate a little extra thing, I'll get Aaron to do it. And then by season 3, I was like helping him with the underwater episode and assistant directing. one of the directors left at one point, and I just had to take over the episode. And then season 4 to 5 and 6, I was just directing.
Gotcha.
And directing retakes too, which is where the animation comes back and it's all broken and you have to fix it.
So what does directing a show like BoJack entail?
Basically, they would give you like the script. You'd go to the table read, and you'd get the radio play, and then it's kind of just, whoa, this squirrel is getting pretty aggressive.
I think he wants some pizza.
Rabies.
You want some za?
Yeah.
Or poutine?
Anyway, sorry. Just me making a noise scared him off. Oh yeah, you get the radio play, and then you basically have a week to kind of come up with all the visuals or your pitch for the visuals, you know, and be like, I think when they're doing this scene, we should do it from this angle, and we could reuse this background. You know, you're trying to sell them on your vision for the episode, and you do a little presentation, song and dance, and then you just start storyboarding it with the team of boarders that you get. So in total, like the whole process, I think would take about a month and a half per episode. But then, you know, you have to live with it for a while. You're like communicating with the animation studio, you do retakes on it and stuff, and it, you know, it evolves along the way. But that's basically what it would be, yeah.
And then the animation you did on BoJack was all done in Flash, or
Yeah, and all the Sublo stuff is still Flash.
it's still
too.
Flash?
Yeah, I'm most comfortable with Flash.
So do you want to explain if anyone doesn't know what Flash is? Okay. Oh my gosh.
Squirrels hitting us?
Is it bird shit?
No, it's something
Felt
from
a
the
little
sky.
I thought I smelled some moisture coming down. But anyway.
Some nuts.
Let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Wow.
If you want to explain Flash to anyone that doesn't know what it is.
So Flash is like this ancient animation software. I guess now it still exists, but it's called Adobe Animate. But I use this version from like 12 or 13 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. You can do frame-by-frame animation in it. It got a bad rap because it was used a lot for really shitty Canadian, mostly TV cartoons, where
Kevin
they like.
Spencer?
I don't know if Kevin Spencer was Flash. It might have been like MS Paint or something. But I don't know. I don't want to name names. But there's a lot of shows from like the 2000s, early 2010s that were Flash, and they kind of looked bad. But you could do fine stuff with it, I think, if you just don't use it the way it's intended. You know, like it's got all these shortcuts and stuff, and you're just like, well, I don't need to use the shortcuts. I could just draw it traditionally in Flash.
And that's how you've been doing it since.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a tool, I guess, you know.
Tool to create.
Yeah, but I love it. I just find it really comfortable because I've been using it since I was like a teenager.
And you've been getting better at it.
Up to a point. I think I've stagnated a little bit.
I don't know, some of the newer Sublo things look really good. Like that 11-minute
smear?
episode.
It was like,
Yeah, the smear.
That one, there was some stuff that kind of pushed it to
the limit.
at least the limits of what I could like fit in a file, you know.
Okay.
There were some big files that were getting chugging and stuff, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I'm gonna stick with Flash as long as my computer doesn't die. At least for my personal stuff. I can't use it on jobs anymore because everybody else is using different things.
From going on from a show like BoJack to working at the same time, Tuca and Bertie, and also Sublo and Tangy Mustard, how was time management, and then how did it differ from show to show, from a bigger budget show to something you're putting out yourself with your family and friends?
Well, I think the indie stuff always kind of had to, except for when I was unemployed, which I loved, because it'd be on hiatus, you know. You'd get like a season of work on BoJack or Tuca, and then they'd be like, okay, looks like we're going to be renewed, so we got 2 or 3 months where you can kind of either find some other work or just take a summer break. It's taking a beating over here.
Yeah, I'm beating up buddies like, you know, pine nuts.
Before you came, nothing fell.
The voices are vibrating up the tree and stuff, you know?
Oh, like,
But yeah, I love doing the indie stuff because it's so, you know, it's just whatever you want it to be. It's very freeform. And I feel like that's a bad thing in terms of the schedules and stuff. Like, you know, I just kind of put it out when I've done an episode, and there's no real schedule at this point. I've kind of given up on that. It just happens when I have time to make it happen. But it was sort of, you know, I would be working maybe 10 to 7 on a good day. Sometimes it'd be overtime on BoJack or Tuca or whatever it was. And then I'd go home and do some like in-betweens or cleanup on Sublo, coloring, some of the easy stuff. And then I would usually animate either on the weekend or in the morning before work.
Wow.
So it was a lot of animation, but
Hey, you enjoy doing
yeah,
that?
well, one thing is I would never be doing the exact same thing. If I was storyboarding at work and then I'd go home and try to storyboard, I just was like kill myself. So I had to be doing animation at home while I was storyboarding there, or if I'm writing the next episode while I'm animating at work or something. Just trying to somewhat break it up so that it wasn't totally monotonous for like 12 hours a day.
And how does the writing process go? If the audience is unfamiliar with Sublo, each episode is a different length. So there are 30-second episodes and there are 11-minute episodes. How do you decide what makes a 30-second episode and what makes an 11-minute?
Well, it's just sort of, I decide that it could be whatever length they need to be, And I try to get them as short as possible. But like the 11-minute one, I think I wrote it, and at first it was like 20 pages. And then I really scraped it down. But
These trees are getting violent.
yeah, this is aggression here. I like to actually. We both love like Archie comics, and that's why I love reading like the Archie digests. You get like a 2-page story and then like an 8-page story, and you never really know. Like it made it hard to kind of guess what the pacing would be. If everything was the same length on like a sitcom episode, you can kind of feel like, oh, okay, there's gonna be like some turn, and then they're gonna start wrapping it up. But if it varies that much, I think it's kind of fun to. You don't know what the rhythm of the show's going to be.
Especially if you don't like pause or play the show, you kind of just watch it until it ends.
Yeah, I mean, if you click on the video and you see it's 4 minutes, you're like, I guess it's going to be done around 3:30 or something.
But I also like that in the sense that you're not forced to tell a story in 30 minutes. You tell, as long or as short as you need it to be.
Yeah, well, that was the thing with BoJack and Tuca. I mean, I think by the end of an episode, end of producing an episode, you'd get it to feel good. But sometimes you could feel like, just on any show, and not even those two specifically. I mean, they were pretty good about it. But a lot of shows you could kind of feel like, oh, this story isn't really long enough, or it's too long and they're trying to cram it into a certain length, and I just wanted to avoid that. I mean, that's just, it's naturally how it works with TV or whatever, but not with the internet.
Especially there's no part 2s or anything in Sublo.
I tried to make the convention one a 2-parter for the sake of production, but I didn't write it that way, and I couldn't figure out how to break it up. So I was like, why bother doing it that way?
And do you have any standout moments, Kevin, from your real life that affected Sublo?
Yeah, I'd say my favorite episode personally is the party episode, because a lot of it is based on real parties house parties we go to at my friend's house during high school and university. And the way Aaron captured it in animation in multiple ways is very impressive. Like when you see him at the very beginning walking to the house, that's like one of the streets for one of our houses. But the interior is another friend's house, one of our best friends, and it captures all the same vibes that the episode did, where there's people playing Smash, not Smash Brothers, Smack Posse, and flooded toilets.
Yeah, it's all every bit of that one. It's from a party.
So when I watched that episode, many people would see it as just a fun episode, but I see it as like a journal, like a memory. It's this is just capturing the memories that we had together way back when, and it's a good reminder of that.
And when you rewatch it, do you have those childhood feelings kind of about it, or do you see it in a different way, or?
I see it mainly that episode specifically, because a lot of the other episodes aren't really captured from my life. I didn't have a fight with mascots in front of Shoppers Drug Mart.
Right, there's bits in them, but that's the one that's the most specifically.
The party one is the one that's it really did capture just a day in our lives. And when I do watch that episode, I look back pretty fondly, and I look back and see it as these are Jesus, getting pelted here.
Yeah.
As not just the happy moments, but also the moments that Aaron didn't capture. It helps you remember those things too. Things that shouldn't be captured in an episode.
People crying in the basement and stuff. A lot of tears.
Other than the party, anything else? Any smaller moments in the show?
Smaller moments. I mean, it's been a while since I actually went through all the episodes sequentially. Like I kind of did skim through it when we were making our Blu-rays. Yeah, the scenes and the Blu-ray specifically, because I need to go through to make
Kevin
sure
made the Blu-ray.
Everything was okay. And I would say less about event, but also like the cast. Like it's like some of the cast like are people that we went to high school with. Shannon is a good friend of ours, so just hearing their voices in there, it's like, oh yeah, it's like I think back like, oh, how's Shannon? Like, I haven't like seen her in a while, so I was like, I wonder how she doing. So a lot of these moments that just helped me bring back to I would say the best of times, but just nostalgic times. For better or for worse, that they made me who I am today.
Do you have any specific standouts for yourself? I know the last episode that's out, the Christmas episode, you said you did in a month.
Yeah, that was just because I was desperate to get something out because it had been so long. My 3 favorites probably are that party one, the picnic one, and the nightclub one. And I think they're like some of the most ambitious ones too.
Do you not see the irony with the picnic one?
Yeah.
And then there's other ones that like are other big episodes too, but I think those are the most like I don't know, interesting ones to me.
And in those episodes, it does take a slightly different tone than the standard comedy of the show.
Yeah, I always feel like it's like a weird risk because people just go in expecting jokes, and there'll be like a scene where like, I don't know, 30 seconds go by and there's not like even like intended to be a joke, let alone whether it's actually funny. And I'm always like, oh, the audience is gonna get so bored by this, but I want to do it, and nobody's telling me what to do, so I do it. In the same way that they can be whatever length. I think they can kind of have whatever tone. Like the Halloween episode also is pretty weird in the other direction, where it's just more surreal and ridiculous.
Yeah.
I should probably do some more like that actually, because that's one of my other favorites.
I will say, I think like the audience for Sublo and Tangy Mustard are like probably a lot smarter than you're giving them credit.
Yeah.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
We met a lot of them, right, when we went to Brooklyn and whatnot, and like everyone seemed to be. It's not just like lowbrow humor types of people.
No, that's true. I feel like maybe like the serious moments are harder to pull off because maybe this is like means something to me, but it might not mean anything to the viewer. They might be like too like cringy or something, But like I don't know. I mean, I do it anyway. I'm like, I don't know. This isn't gonna deliver what they're clicking on Sublo for.
And do you think that's happened
No,
before?
not really. Everybody
It's
seems
just
pretty happy.
the
with it.
internal
It's just
fear
in my head.
of
Insecurity.
I mean,
of making it.
Based on the views, you know what they're clicking for, on YouTube.
Oh, I like the thumbnails and stuff.
Yeah, the thumbnails and like your top videos and for Sublo.
Oh yeah, people love that subpar geek girl.
Subpar Geek Girl, the standalone.
She's coming back though. I mean, she'll be in a few more.
You mentioned Brooklyn. You want to talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, great pizzas. But so we got invited for the BAM, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn. Oh, that was the venue, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
No, wait, what was it? Animation Block Party. Is the
Yeah,
name of
Animation
the
Block
festival,
Party, which was held
run by
at the
Casey
BAM.
Saffron. Yeah.
Which was held at the BAM, so we got invited to be a part of a showcase of Sublo and Tangy Mustard specifically, and they're gonna, have people attend the venue and show. How many clips did they show? Like about 8 episodes of some sort.
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half
Yeah.
block. So they said like screen about an hour, and then we'll do like a half-hour Q&A.
Yeah, so we did a Q&A, so we had like myself, you, Ryan came in as well.
Because he lives in New York.
Although he was the one that came late.
We went to the wrong theater, which is pretty classic Ryan, honestly.
He's like, he lives around the corner and comes late.
As they were introducing him, like they were about to like, please welcome the voice of Sublo, and I was going like, no, he's not here, don't say that. And then I saw him like running down the steps. Like,
He literally just got there.
And I was like,
Perfect
okay, say
timing.
his name.
Yeah, so we were there, and the showcase was great, and we got to meet a lot of our fans firsthand, and just see that passion. It's like you see all these people type on the internet like, yeah, great show, or some lewd comments or whatnot, but for them to say that how lewd they are in person is very just it's very interesting.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really like impactful to meet them, because so often it just feels like this weird project I'm like doing alone in my room, like drag my friends into the studio once in a while, and then like But I'm like, oh, just forget the outside world knows that this exists. So meeting them in person was cool.
Yeah, it makes it a reality, right? Because like when you see it online, you don't really associate like that's actually a person. Like, you think like it could be a bot or something like, or just like people with multiple aliases kind of thing.
You've made 10 different accounts to watch the show. Just
Yeah, burner YouTube accounts.
yeah.
And meeting them, and then we had like an after party after. We met more people. It was a great time. Great time. Like I
Yeah,
said, great
it was really
pizzas. Some of the best pizzas I've had.
Right by our hotel too.
Yeah, that's like a random one. We were just like, we want a pizza right now. And it's like, we went to this dinky place. And I was like, man, this doesn't seem so dinky at all. This is really good $2 slice.
And it was, proper New York experience. You could hear somebody screaming down the street.
It wasn't so proper this time. Because like, one time I went to buy pizza in New York, and they were like cursing at me. Like basically, I guess I wasn't ordering fast enough or like asking.
At the pizza place?
Yeah. I think you were there. It was the one by the train tracks when we went to see Perfume.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like cussing at all of us. But this time I didn't get that experience. I don't know.
That one, yeah. That place.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called.
That's as New York as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get that same experience. I guess, they must have cracked down.
And speaking of Perfume, I know it's your favorite group. And also, one of the dances in Sublo is based off of Perfume.
Yeah, the subpar sirens in the convention episode. I was like I love animating goofy like nonsense dances, but animating like realistic dances. Like when I did the breakdancing too, I just looked at some breakdancing videos and kind of copied from those. The subpar sirens dance in the convention one, it's just taken from the Laser Beam.
Laser Beam.
Perfume song Laser Beam.
Yeah, I think the Nochi part.
Yeah, it's like hands twisting around and stuff. Yeah. I just rotoscoped. Well, no, not even rotoscoped. I referenced like a few specific moves, and then looped them.
And I mean, like even if you know Perfume and you see like the subpar sirens, like you can kind of see there's a lot of parallels there too.
Yeah,
I mean, even one of the members looked like Nochi from Perfume, and I think even at the house party episode, there's that Nochi lookalike too.
Yeah.
Different character though, I assume.
Bobcat. Yeah.
I know you reference a lot of different animators, and what do you choose what to reference?
Well, it's not usually like a deliberate reference. It's all just kind of the stuff that's like lodged in my brain, I mean, some of them I've like studied more in depth, and other ones is just kind of, oh, I saw that once and I forgot it's even taken from that. But, I don't know. It almost depends. Like the way I animate kind of depends on how I feel on a specific day, And so I kind of plan what shots I'm gonna do according to like what I feel like I'm excited about on that day.
You're not excited about Odessa steps yet? We don't have that yet.
Yeah, the next Sublo episode will be the Battleship Potemkin tribute. No, yeah, but I mean, I could talk about specific animators that I've been influenced by. I mean, Masaki Uwasa is huge, Shinya Ohira, Jim Tyre, Rod Scribner. I mean, I could just list a bunch of names, but I don't know. We don't have to do that.
Would you say that by watching those animators that you've grown up with, like that really is what got you into animation?
I would say, yeah. Especially like as a kid, I was always like still framing through Looney Tunes on like VCRs and stuff, and especially like the Bob Clampett ones. I remember looking at like a Corny Concerto and Tortoise Wins by a Hair and stuff. Then I found out like all the parts I was still framing were like the same animator, Rod Scribner. He's like crazy. And then like as a teenager, I kind of got more into anime. And first it was, maybe like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Digimon stuff where I was like, oh, this isn't really animated well, but it's like really compelling. And then I found ones that I did like the animation more, like Lupin the Third or Urusei Yatsura, Shin-Chan. I'm obsessed with Shin-Chan, like unhealthily.
I'm gonna disagree with you on the Dragon Ball. There are some great animated episodes in that.
There's good drawings, but like most of the movement is like
it depends because like every episode has a different director.
That's
so
true.
like some
some
episodes
of them
are like drastically better, and then like another episode's like, oh, you can tell they ran out of money here.
But it's never a show that I would like watch for the animation.
You watch it for the story, and it just happens to be an animated show.
You get like those like 30 seconds of story. It's like
in
crack,
between a few episodes, and that keeps you going.
Raising his hand.
We raise his hands halfway up in one episode, and then it'll be like next time he's raising it up all the way. I don't know. I still love that show, but it's tough rewatching it because it goes so slow.
Well, that's why they have Kai for you people.
Yeah, but then that cuts out some of the filler I like too. I want the
You
driving
want
scene.
everything you like in the show.
I just want to get through it faster,
Well, you don't want the, what was that arc? The Garlic Jr. saga?
He sucked. Wasn't he basically just like Pilaf recolored?
Yeah. They had it as a dead zone.
There's a lot of characters that are just Pilaf recolored. Now that I think about that. Yeah, but yeah, I got pretty inspired by anime, and then those were like more, I don't know, mainstream anime, and then I got into more like weird ones too, like some of the stuff that Shinya Ohira does, and like, what's it called, Hakenden. I don't know if I said that right, but there's that, and like Studio 4C and Madhouse did a bunch of weird, like sort of one-off projects in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And those are like my favorites.
One of them got them bankrupt.
Yeah, I think a lot of them got them bankrupt.
Yeah.
I think it was a string of projects that were almost guaranteed to not be successful.
Yeah.
But that's like my favorite stuff.
I mean, Madhouse did some of my favorite stuff, which got me where I am.
To this part.
Ninja Scroll?
Yeah, right to this part.
Exactly,
Yeah. Would you ever work on an animated show
I'm open
in
to
Japan?
it. I haven't sought it out because I know the pay is terrible, and I think the standards are probably higher. Like, I don't think I can draw that well, you know, for anime.
It sounded like we met with a few animators when we were in Japan recently. It sounded like things have been shifting for the better, especially for foreign workers.
Yeah, but not always, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julieta seemed pretty happy, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be open to it. Especially, I know like a tiny bit of Japanese, but not really enough to function in a studio setting. But I know certain studios are a little more internationally focused. I'd be open to it, but it's not something I've like sought out really. It'd be cool to go over there and do that though, because I love going to Japan.
Yeah, it'd be more of a reason to
Always
go
trying to
there.
go, like, oh, when are we doing the next trip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the last time we went to Japan, like it was
Last
our third
October,
time.
yeah.
Just last October. And we're saying like, we've been to Japan quite often. I think we need to take a break. And then like about 2 weeks later, I was
As
at
soon as we're back, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as soon. Like it took me 2 weeks. And I was at a 7-Eleven and I was like, our 7-Eleven sucks.
You could really go for some of that chicken there, like
The family
We
chicken.
we had a raw chicken in Japan dipped in a raw egg before.
Oh, that was good, yeah.
It was like it's supposed to be super pure and clean. I don't know how legit
Did
that
you get
is.
sick after?
They say
No,
everything is healthy
I felt
there.
great.
Everything is like fat reducing, even though it's like
I didn't
full
get
of
sick
carbs,
at
sugars,
all
though.
in Japan. Like despite us eating like practically everything under the sun, under the rising sun.
Because
Actually.
of that vitamin apple juice.
Oh,
We got
yeah,
this
we-
nasty. We were eating all this fried stuff, and we were like, we need something healthy. So we got this like apple juice infused with like vegetables and
Yeah.
vitamins. It was so fucking gross.
It was awful. It's probably one of the worst like vegetable drinks, but like I needed vegetables, so I kept drinking it. And then I felt fine. I felt fine the whole trip.
We also had like the best apple juice ever in Japan.
Oh yeah, at the Asahi Brewery.
They give you free drinks at the end of this
That's awesome.
brewery tour.
Yeah, it's like you usually get alcohol, but it was like, yeah, like
Go for some apple
Like, cause they
juice.
sell apple juice. I was like, the best apple juice I've had in my life.
So good.
And like they stopped selling it.
There's like nowhere else in Japan even could you find it.
Yeah. Every time we go to Japan, we try to look for it, and so it got to the point where I was googling where to buy this, and I think they sell it exclusively now in like the UK. I was like, what?
Bullshit.
So if you mix the good apple juice and the bad apple juice, would it be a mediocre apple juice or would it be a overpoweringly bad
I think
apple
I wouldn't be
juice?
pooping right. I think I'll say that.
Something to get twisted in there.
Yeah, it'll be like, it's, yeah, let's not talk about that bad apple juice. That was awful.
Yeah. Let's get back to cartoons.
Yeah, back to cartoons. Yeah, so when working on Sublo, I know your longest episode was 11 minutes, and that was a long time. You must have thought of, what if I made a Sublo movie at least once?
It's like occurred to me, but I don't have any stories that are like long enough, you know? That's always, because otherwise I would do like an indie movie even whether it was Sublo or not. But
Sublo movie.
all of my ideas are like, oh, this would be like 15 minutes long or something. And also just animating it all yourself is like a lot of commitment. I mean, I have done like a movie's worth of Sublo at this point, I think.
Yeah,
like,
hour and a
running
half.
time wise, yeah. But it's easier mentally to break it up into little chunks rather than like, oh, I'm committing to this thing that I can only put out after, 7 years of slogging away on it.
Instead of a movie, why don't you just do it like what the animes used to do, OVAs?
Yeah, I could do some Sublo OVAs,
Do
yeah.
something like in like Macross Plus, have a bunch of OVAs, and then that just makes its own like movie recut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could do
You
both.
could.
That could be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need like a story that was worth doing at that scale. I don't know.
Got so many stories in our lives that you can do to that scale. So many that's unheard of, and hopefully will forever remain unheard of. But you can take some bits out of it.
Yeah, little choice moments.
Yeah, choice moments.
Would you do a travel episode ever?
Yeah, maybe. That'd be fun.
I keep telling him to make one.
I feel like it'd be a little gimmicky, you know, but I do. There's a lot of travel experiences. I mean, I kind of try to put those experiences into the show in other ways, like that one where they go to the convention. There's like I wanted that to be more travel focused, and then like of just getting to there, and then that stuff ended up kind of falling off of the episode as I made it.
Well, because to me, like it's a bit ironic because like you made the show with Toronto in mind because you missed Toronto when you're living in California, but being back in Toronto, and we always talk about we miss Japan. So wouldn't a Japan episode make more sense because we're always talking about missing Japan?
It would, but it'd be so weeby, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But you have to do things that's like they don't always show in like
That's
like
true,
the Tokyos or Shibuya. Like forget that.
They're not going to the scramble crossing.
Yeah, like we went to some pretty sketchy. Actually, yeah, it was sketchy.
Yeah, we've had some sketchy stuff.
Yeah, some sketchy stuff. So I think it's that would be good to show, to be like, oh, this is this different side of Japan that they never show in like even in Japan.
I guess so. But we've been there like a month in our lives total. It'd be, I don't know if I'm the person to show that side
It
of
is
Japan.
Tangy Mustard's favorite.
Yeah.
Tangy Mustard's the tour guide.
We'll do it in the context of Tangy Mustard going, yeah. Because he's got the J-pop scheme. But it's more like a pipe dream. Like, I don't think he's close to having it happen.
It's his 5-year
Exactly.
I
plan.
know he just says that's his dream. He just ends up at the J-pop stores just buying merch, which might or might not be true.
The J-pop VHS store in Nipponbashi.
Yeah, Nipponbashi. Yeah, all those like old vintage J-pop stuff. I'm just like.
Love that.
Wait, oh yeah, upcoming episode.
Yeah, I'm working on another one. It's going to be out in sometime in the summer, maybe August. It's called Catering. Doesn't matter. Just, it's all the same places you find the other ones.
Takes place in Markham, maybe?
It takes place in Markham, yeah.
Oh, does it?
It's another bit of a field trip episode. They go and they're catering at this sad, like, corporate head office in Markham.
That's all there is to do in Markham.
Oh, that's like the first 10 seconds.
It's still spoiling it. That's some Patreon exclusive information.
Sure, yeah.
You mentioned earlier you wrote a book for the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, I didn't know what to call it. Like, I thought it was going to be like 15 pages and it'd just be like, oh, this is a little zine. And then it turned into like 80 pages or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got Kevin and all the other voice actors to, like I interviewed everybody. Got like,
You got everyone. You got everyone.
All the major, not everybody who shows up in 2 episodes, but
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, you got all the reoccurring characters.
yeah. And yeah, I put some art. I mean, you read it,
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of behind the scenes stuff.
Buy it.
Yeah, everybody should buy it.
Mention where it's sold at.
Sublo and Tangy Mustard production notes zine available. I think it's going to be like aaronlong.bigcartel.com. Put that on the bottom there.
We'll post something about it on social media.
Yeah, I'm still figuring out like the tax stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
I'm selling online what I have to do.
And we're gonna try to, sell other things alongside that, such as, stickers, buttons, that I'll personally make. Maybe even shirts as well if there's a demand for that.
Artisanally handcrafted by Kevin.
Yeah, I actually just
You'll screen
learned.
print it yourself or the shirts?
Yeah, I just literally learned how to do them like 3 weeks ago, just for Sublo. So once we get that shop up and running, we might see some new merch. We get a lot of requests for it online.
Yeah. People have been asking for years, like, when there's the T-shirt, when's the sound?
In my head, it's just like, oh yeah, you're requesting it, but you're gonna pay for it,
Yeah.
Who knows? This costs us money.
I mean, I feel like there's, like, when I did the Fester Fish shirts, Fester Fish was smaller, I guess, but, people kept saying they wanted it, like maybe 10 people, and then those 10 are the only ones that bought it.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, we don't want to be stuck with, like, a bunch of unsold merch, because, it's like, we're going to be in,
for sure.
Yeah, it's just like, this costs us money to make, and time especially, so, we want to be, make sure there's a demand for them.
Although, I kind of am happy with, like, the level of success that it's at, because I have friends, like, I'm not going to say who. I have a friend who works on, like, a really big indie project, and they spent, like, every time we've, like, hung out, they were really, let's say, caught up in, like, drama online of, like, like, some tweet that I made 10 years ago. I mean, I'm not really worried about any tweets I made, but you know, she's always like, oh, like somebody's like criticizing me for what I did on the show, and she's always dealing with some kind of drama. No, they. Let's not say who it is. Yeah. But anyways, this is personal.
Mr. Black.
Yeah, Mr. Black. I know a few who are like that, but there's one in particular I'm thinking of. But it just seems like a lot of attention that you don't want, really. Like, if more people watch the show, that would be cool. But if more people were like poking into who I am, I wouldn't really want that attention. You know what I mean?
And then there are people that are poking into us.
Has people ever stopped you?
Yeah,
At animation events and
literally, like, one person I met, he's a friend of mine now, but I was literally at Anime North, which is a Toronto anime convention. There's like, 35,000 people. And I was just there, and I was just walking and talking with someone. And literally and this is a big crowd, mind you. Someone out in it just says, I hear Tangy Mustard. I was like, what? What? I was like, oh, hey. It's yeah, there are people that would just literally like hear my voice, I guess, because my voice as Tangy Mustard is literally just my voice. So people would just hear and it's like, oh, that sounds familiar. So
like at TCAF and stuff, I get like somebody will come up because they already follow me, you know, but not like on the street or anything.
Okay.
It's always just like at an event where it's already kind of likely to run into animation or cartoon or whatever.
like there are people that like they do try to probe into us online, where if you get the wikis, like, there's like a Sublo and Tangy Mustard Wikipedia, but like not on. It's like one of those like fandoms.
Fan wiki.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So like and like it's like
Some of the stuff is wrong.
yeah, some of it. But first, it's like they got the very basic info, which is kind of public, like in the credits or something, and then they'll be like, they got their inspiration from this. And it's like, what? No, I didn't. What?
Do you want to set the record straight right now?
There's
Or?
the one that was like the inspiration for the
Oh yeah, it said it was like an outtake or something.
Oh yeah, which is no, that was in the. I'll say that was in the script.
That was in the script, but it was the thing that he'd been saying for years.
And I will not say where that came from, but if you know who I am, you know exactly where it came from. East Coast.
There's been a couple of like problems, I would say, of like people getting a little too, like not leaving you alone really. But generally, we're not really at that level.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we do have a lot of enthusiastic fans. And,
But like 95% of the time, that's a good thing.
I think for the most part, like every fan that we've like interacted in person or online have been in a positive way. There hasn't been anybody that's trying to like, trying to get us like exposed or canceling us for something. I think like every interaction we had is from a place of goodness.
Yeah.
Personally, at least.
I feel like I get more in trouble with my spicy takes about the animation industry on Twitter. Every once in a while. There'll be somebody who's like, oh, I saw that thing you said about Bento Box. How dare you sully their name? And I'm like, Bento Box?
You always get in trouble on Twitter. You gotta keep it like civil. Like, you talk only about J-pop stuff. Nobody gives you crap for that.
What about K-pop? Then you'd be.
No, I don't talk K-pop. I don't talk K-pop. No. There's
strictly
too many hot takes on that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
J-pop is just like, Perfume, Sakuzaka 46.
Peaceful.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. He's like, I like Karin Fujiyoshi too. Yeah, like.
About the animation industry right now, it is exponentially more difficult to work for an animation studio right now, with studios cutting a lot of the animation.
I feel like you're leading into something here. Feels very. I have a feeling.
One of those hot takes right now.
Yeah.
What's your hot takes on this?
I mean, I feel like everything is not going in a great direction in terms of a lot of like familiar institutions. Like I just said, Bento Box. No, I'm not gonna say it. No. But different studios are showing a lot of signs that they're not doing too well. There's also like independent things starting, which is that kind of sounds like almost a cop-out where you're like, okay, everything sucks, but there's some tiny things. And it's like, but everything starts tiny, like, if it's gonna last. I mean, Netflix animation didn't start tiny and then they died.
Yeah.
But, like, everything starts as an independent thing, basically. So I think there will be new institutions that, like, rise. I mean, already, like, Spindle Horses are, and,
Glitch.
There are ones that are kind of becoming legitimate studios, places to work. With Glitch, I feel like it's almost at the point now where it's like, is it even really useful to be like distinguishing, oh, they're an indie studio? It's like, well, every studio is indie in a way, you know?
Do you think they're just considered indie because their stuff's posted on YouTube?
Yeah, maybe. But like when you're also like on Netflix or like Amazon, it's like, I mean, I respect them and I like, you know, it's cool if they're so successful, but it stops. I mean, I feel like indie is just it's the same with music or film too, you know? At a certain point, it's like, what does indie even mean? Like, that you're not owned by like Disney? Like, there's a lot of stuff that's not owned by Disney. I don't know. Maybe not at this point. But, you know, somebody was talking about that with video games. Like, all these studios now that call themselves like indie game studios, in the 90s, that existed too. They were just called game studios.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think like there's like a by definition what an indie game studio is, and it's like as long as they're like self-published, something like that. Like they're self-published, they're considered indie. So you can have like, oh yeah, like this is an indie game, even though it's technically like a AAA game. Like was it like Control?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That game
Control is
I think-
Remedy.
Yeah,
that
Remedy,
published it.
but because they self-published, I think by definition it's an indie game, which doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, it's
but-
weird. But it stops being such a useful word, really. But I do feel like stuff's going more, you know, like stuff like Disney, Warner Brothers, like, I'm sure they'll stick around, but you can't necessarily rely on them for the work and the content even, like as a viewer. But I think the indie stuff is going to become more like legitimized, you know, where you'll still be, like people, right now, I know people who are like, hey, do you have any job leads? And I'm like, oh, I know an indie place. And they're like, yeah, but I need to get paid. Like, I don't want to be making like $200 a week. But there's like places that do indie stuff that pay like, you know, like the lines are all kind of blurring.
So do you see a lot of people switching over to these quote-unquote indie places?
I feel like we're not quite, you know, it's not like the flip has happened yet, but I think everything, it's like each thing is gradually being flipped, you know, like tiny piece at a time. Because like, I think I said this to somebody or posted it, but it feels like everything within the industry is like on fire right now, along with the world, obviously. But like, you know, everything's like volcanoes are erupting and everything's lava. It's like the dinosaurs are getting destroyed by the comet or whatever. But like that, like new stuff things will settle, you know, the fire and lava turn into like rocks that you can stand on, and there'll be new, I don't know, new places to work, new ways to make it work, you know?
I don't know, I think when I think indie, it's like, you know, like there's like the Patreon path and whatnot, which is like, you know, I think with now, especially with social media and just, you know, the internet in general, how it's like, it's, you know, it's very easy to kind of show off your works by yourself, and like you can get like you can build off with your own following. So like I think a lot of people are very like supportive of the idea and like giving money, knowing that that money supports the person they want to support directly, instead of like some, you know, social media manager kind of guy getting their hands in the pot and taking the money. It's like it's kind of a weird analogy, but I think of something like I don't know if I want to say it, but not that I have subscribed, but like OnlyFans, you know, like something like that.
No,
like you're supporting this person directly. Now, why don't we just have a similar model for like in the animation industry or any other industry where there's like you know, people that want to support someone directly. You know.
Yeah, I think that is a lot of the appeal. That you're not worried about, okay, this is going to Disney and then it's going down to whatever company, and then, you know, it trickles down to the creators.
Because like, you know, people like when they subscribe to them, they do like, I don't want to support with a Zaslav or whatever, you know.
David Zaslav.
Yeah, Zaslav. Like, I don't want to give him my money.
80 cents to the dollar of whatever you're giving them.
I don't want to give him my money, but I also want to watch this thing without feeling guilty. So why not have a path where you support the people that actually worked on that?
Yeah.
Do you want to shout out your Patreon for?
Yeah. Patreon.com/Aaron Long. YouTube, probably /Aaron Long.
It will be flashing on the screen.
Yeah.
You know,
Lights and
click on the
sounds.
button.
Yeah.
Don't forget to ring the notification bell. Hit that subscribe button there, I think. Yeah, and like we're on. Do we still say Twitter?
You could still say Twitter.
Yeah, X.
I'm still there. I'm on Blue Sky, Instagram, Discord. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, we have Twitters. Yeah, you'll see the link right here. Yeah, Kevin Doan. Not that I post much, just usually. And if I do post stuff, it's like people probably would be like, "Why is he posting this again? I don't need this idle junk or food." But yeah, I mean, yeah, we have a presence. You know, you can always message us, DM us. We're always open to talking about anything.
Yeah, I'm unhealthily online, I would say.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say hi. You know, a lot of people say hi, what's up, or like there's some cool event coming up. And, yeah, sure.
Is there anything that you want fans not to do?
Don't follow me on Letterboxd. I talk a lot of shit on there.
But yeah, just there's like a lot of ways you can reach out to us, and you know, we're always free to talk, and you know, we're not scary people. I think.
Yeah, generally.
Generally.
Is the Blu-ray out anywhere to buy, or?
We'll be at...
That will be part of, I think once you get that big cartel store online, we're gonna sell the Blu-ray there as well. I personally make each and every Blu-ray. I authored it myself, so.
I scribble all over.
Yeah, and like, you know, we'll scribble all over, and like, so any, you know, proceeds goes directly to us, not some, I don't know, who makes Blu-rays? Sony? I don't know. So, yeah, no, I mean, this is like great. Oh, the food, it's not here anymore, but I had a Henry's Fish and Chips in Mississauga, Ontario. Also, this is is it coffee or is it coleslaw? Yeah, it's a pretty sick coleslaw. Apparently it's cheaper for them to buy coffee cups than it is to get styrofoam boxes. So they just serve it in styrofoam cups.
And we got a poutine rating.
Oh yeah, and a poutine here as well.
Oh yeah, this is solid poutine.
Yeah, I'm full, so I didn't finish the poutine. Also at Henry's Fish and Chips. So really cheap. My favorite fish and chip spots. Definitely recommend, support them.
We got Tandoori Chicken Pizza from Vito's Pizza, which is
Literally next door,
yeah.
to Henry's Fish and Chips in Mississauga.
It was pretty good. I would recommend it.
If you Google it, it says best pizza on the Google link, so you know it's true.
Yeah, it is good.
AI overview.
Bunch of pizza, guys.
Yeah, if you guys
come
want
have some
pizza,
pizza.
please, we have extra.
There's no more fish though.